you only want to have one of your plots on. And in my case, I only do have one plot on, and that's my first one, so I'm okay. Now let's just say we turned this on, and my plots, okay, so I go second stop plot. I had two of them are on. Well, I don't want two of them on, so I have to turn off the second one. So I go to the second one, I hit enter, I go to off, and I put enter, and then I go back and hit my second stat plot. I only have one. That's what I want. So once you're here, I want to get a step, I want to get a histogram. So I go down to type. That's, you can tell that's like a scatter plot. The next one's like a line graph. The third one in looks like it is a histogram. So I hit enter. Tells me where my values are, L1. And when I did my stat and I did my edit, that's where I put my values, L1, so that's okay. Okay. And frequency, it just means I counted one at a time. So now I'm going to hit graph. Now watch, something could happen. If there's something, look at that. Does that look like a histogram? No. So let's go to my y equals screen. I don't have anything typed in there. If I do, you have to clear that out. So you would just hit clear and enter. I don't. But I go back to my graph, I don't see anything. So what we want to do is, we want to make the calculator fit our data. So we're going to fit it. So you're going to hit zoom, and then, let's see, which one's zoom fit? I think it was zoom 9, but let me look. 10, zoom, looks like a 0 in this calculator. So I hit zoom 0. I don't want that. Zoom fit. Zoom 9, okay? And what it does is, it takes your data and it takes the window and it fits it to your data. Okay, zoom 9. Write that down. Zoom 9. Now, here's your histogram. I am never going to ask you to make one by hand. So what we do here is we can find out what these values are by using our trace button. So if I hit trace, here this tells me that the smallest value is 92.4, and this bin are values that are less than 95.36666667, and it tells me there's 3 of those. Here there's 8 of those, and it's less than 98.333, and I look here, but you would never make that. You would never, ever copy that, okay? So what I have to do is, I have to figure out what I need to do to make this something that I can copy, okay? And the way that we do that is we go to our window, okay? So you hit window, just looking for a piece of paper here. I'll be right with you guys. So go to window and look at our values. We don't want that. Okay, we don't want 92 point, you're not going to write that on your paper. So let's make our minimum value here 92. And our maximum value, let's make our maximum, or you know what, even 92. Let's make it a nice clear number. Let's make that 90. And let's make the maximum 115. And what do we want to go by here? Oops, that's supposed to be, what did I say that was supposed to be, 90? And then max is 115. So what do you want to go by? You could go by 3s, you could go by 5s, whatever. Let's go by 5s and just see what the picture looks like. Now let's go back to our graph. Not bad. It looks like I might have a value that reaches to the top, okay, here for my y's. So let's go back to our window and see what our y's say. Our y's have negative values on them. That doesn't make sense. All these values are positive, so I'm going to make that a 0. And let's make the y max, let's make, it says 14, so let's make the y max, I don't know, 18, and let's go back and look at our graph. Now we have everything we need. And if you had to recopy this, you could hit your trace button. 90 to 95, that's my first bin, and there's 2 of them. The next one, 95 to less than 100. Okay, it doesn't include 100, it's always 95 to less than 100. So when you do your horizontal axis there, you would say 95 to less than 100, okay? It's never going to include 100, so 100 is going to start the next one. 100 to less than 105. that'll be your next bin. Okay, there it is, 100 to less than 105. Okay, and it tells you how many there that are there. So that's how you make a histogram. I hope that's helpful to you. There's an activity at the end of this that I hope we're going to do in a live session. Okay, right here, how many pairs of shoes do you own? It'd be a great way to learn this stuff. At least that's the plan. Here is, these are great. I don't know if I've talked about them yet. Compare and contrast. These are higher order thinking skills. So these are really good things to read and help you understand. You're going to study for a quiz, you're studying for a test. These are excellent things, and these come from our book, and it comes from another stats book. This is a resource that I got from someone who's an expert. So that's what I have, okay? Now, the problems under chapter 1, section 2. These are the ones you have to do in the homework problems, okay? So, you can do a CYU on page 39, and then there's another one on page 41. So there's CYUs on those pages. And then I'm gonna have you guys do 45, 47, 45, 47, 53, 55, 57. Notice they're all odds. Check your answers in the back. 59, 60, and then 69 to 74. This is at least 2, maybe 3 days of schoolwork. Okay, so still trying to figure things out in terms of how we're going to do it, but that's your lecture for 1.2. I hope it makes sense. Talk to you guys soon.